Hi, so welcome to this demo. Today we're demonstrating U-Checkify HMS. It's a hotel management system developed by U Digital Nigeria Limited. Um, so the system right now we have deployed it for a hotel, DM Hotel and Suites located in Warri, Delta State. So this is going to be a demo showcasing what the system has to offer in terms of hotel management for this hotel that we have deployed it on. So first off, we have to log in securely. So the access we are usually pre-created by the admin, so we're going to log in as the manager into the manager's account. So log in. So, and that brings us to the main dashboard. So here it says welcome dear manager, effortlessly manage bookings, reservations and more with a streamlined system. So here we can see the total number of available rooms, 14. We have our reservations count here, we have our revenue, then we have total number of guests. Then recent bookings are shown up here. We can create a new booking here and then view all the bookings that we have. So here we have all the bookings that have been made so far in the system. So we can also see the an invoice. When we come here, we can see the invoice for each of these bookings. So this is the hotel name carrying then this is the customer's information, then the lodging information. We have lodging type presidential suite, room 113, and these are the features, facilities available that comes with the room. We had 2 nights, and per night is 90,000 naira, which the total is this, and that's just about it. So we can close this, we can even print this, and however we like. So we can preview the rooms, the available rooms, by navigating to the rooms screen. Here we can see all of the rooms down to the 14th room. So the features that we have here, each room is telling us the amount, the type of room it is, the room number, the features that comes with the room. So you can see here we have a senator suite, and it features PS5 game consoles and all that. So the features of this room is different from the features of this room, and all of these rooms are available, so which means we can check someone into this room. And then if the manager decides to, maybe there's an additional room that is not here and we want to create another room, we can do that from this screen by just clicking add room, and then we can do that. So we can enter the name of the room, the number of the room type. We can also enter the price of the room, the availability, set it to availability, amenities, and upload a picture of the room however we want. And from this screen we can also edit the information about the room, right? So let's say this room now, the price goes up to 40,000 naira a night. We can do that once we just update this information, and that's it. The room is updated to that. So we're going to return it to the original price that it was on, 33,500. So these are some of the features that we have in terms of navigating the rooms. So here we can click on this and it will take us to a new booking. Since this room is available, we can check someone into that room, and that brings us to add a new booking. So also we can do that from the main dashboard. When we go back to the home screen and then we find ourselves here, so a guest wants to check in, we can click on this and that brings us to a new booking, the same screen that's the add when we clicked on available rooms. And then we can add a guest if we check the guest list. These are our recently checked in guests, so the system records any guest who is already checked into the hotel. In case there's a reoccurring check-in, you don't have to create, you just have to find their information, their name, and then check them in. But let's assume we have a new person coming in, and then we say Mrs. or Miss Dinma. Okay, and then we can enter the person's phone number. We can choose any phone number, but in the real sense you have to take the person's phone number into account. Then we can enter the person's address as and then we can enter the email address for the customers. Then most hotels require a means of identification, and this is because for security and for better identifying a customer's information. So we're going to add a means of identification as national identity, national ID, and then maybe enter the person's national ID information. And once we click on this, create guest, this guest is created. So now when we check on our guest list, we're going to find the name there. So we click on that, and then we select the room that we're trying to check the person into. So let's say room 109. Now here we have the option of selecting the date. When is the guest intending to check out? So today is 29th of May, and tomorrow is 30th, which means one night. So if we select Saturday, automatically the system shows you that it is 2 nights, and at this rate of 47,500 we get the total at 95,000. So the system automatically calculates what the total is going to be, and then we can even set it to maybe a further date, maybe 1st of or even Monday morning checkout. So once we click on submit, the system takes its time to process, and then after that it asks us, is this booking a reservation or are you just checking in? So if you were making a reservation, you would select this, but if you're making a direct check-in, you just choose this. So for now we're going to take this as a reservation, and then we submit it as a reservation. Now when we scroll down, we see that we still have this room available because it's not checked in yet, and then we have a reservation made for this room. And then when we come down here, we can see, oh, there's a reservation on room 109 for Miss Dimma. So let's assume this person, Miss Dimma, finally arrives at the hotel and is intending to check in. All we have to do is to click on this reserved, and then the system checks her in. You can see now reservation count is now 0. Alright, so now we have this guest checked in. We can also add another booking to this and say let's choose one of our existing customers and say Dara. So we choose any room of our choice, and then we select their checkout dates to say maybe Saturday, that's 2 nights, and then we say okay. Now, is this booking a reservation? No, just check in. Alright, so now this guest has checked in. Now we see we have this as a new booking, just checked in, So we have 2 customers checked in. Now let's say Miss Dara for any reason is checking out early, because we have here the checkout date. This is the proposed checkout date. This is our check-in date and time. This is our proposed checkout date. So let's say the customer decides to check out early, and then we'll click on this. It will ask us, the system will ask us, is this guest checking out? All we have to do is answer the question, yes. So once that is done, the system takes a record of the time, the date of the checkout, and the time of the checkout, right? So we can generate an invoice during the check-in process and see the information about this. Okay, so we have Dara, and then we have this, right? So we can also check the one for Miss Dimma, and then we have this, right? So we can have another one. Let's just check out this person. Yes, check out. Okay, so now we can have another check-in. I just want to show you something on the main screen. So let's say Miss Dimma again, and then 1 or 2 or any of the rooms. So if we select a room, a date, if we select a date that is not higher than the current date, the check-in date, let's say we select by mistake 28, we can't have a minus, we can't go back. So even the submit button is not going to show up. So even when we select a day, the same day, no, it's gonna, the system will have to compel you to select the next day, because per night means the next day. So that's when the system is going to allow you to check in a guest. So let's just check in these guests, and then let's go to our available rooms. Okay, here we can see this room is occupied, and then occupied till the proposed date. The date of checkout, the proposed date of checkout is taken into cognizance. So here we have this. We can go back, and then we can verify it with the proposed checkout date. So if this person checks out, same information is also updated on the, here we have all the bookings, and then we have this here. So let's go back now to our rooms to check our rooms. So now you can see that the room is once more available, right? So the choice, the application is quite seamless to use, and then it is touchscreen friendly, because all of these are clickable based on your, if you were using a touchscreen device. So another thing I want us to check out is the revenue. So when we go to the revenue screen, here we can see all the transactions that have been carried out on the system. So you can use this to generate your reports, to compile your auditing and accounting. So that's actually what this part of the system is. And you can also view the figure, the amount, and then the invoice. You can view the invoice for each transaction, even past transactions. You can view them as you please. So let's say one of these transactions that were made previously. So this is multiplied by 7 nights. Okay, so we can also decide to search. Let's say you're looking for transactions for the person named Vincent for a specific guest, or you can search by the room So these are the transactions that has relationship to room 104, and then we can search for room 102. So you can search for your transactions based on the room number or the guest's name, and here you can see your total transactions counts here. And then we can return back to the home page. So if a guest was checked in, let's just run another one. And then we select the nights that we want. Now if a guest was checked in, right, this guest is checked into room 104, so, and then we want to check that person out, the system is going to bring us to the booking page where we click on this and then check out, and then we check out the guest. Alright, so another thing I want us to look at is the guest list. So we can have here, we can see all of our guests, their information. We have Mr. Mal location is this, means of identification here. We can edit the guest information if there is need for that, and then we can also delete a guest if we need to. Alright, but we're not going to do that, but you just have all that control. So the purpose of having this information here, the guest information, you can always reach out to your guests to run maybe adverts, to send them an email, maybe reach out to them, and if they need something, or if there is need for you to contact them, probably they left something behind when they were checking out, you can always reach out to them since you have all their information retained in your system, in your database. So another thing we can do here, the hotel information. Here we have the main dashboard for the hotel. We can always edit this. Let's say tomorrow the hotel decides to rebrand and change their logo. You can upload the new logo, upload a new background, a new banner for the hotel, however you want. You can always do that and update the hotel information. Even the phone number, the hotel phone number, you can always update that, and the address. So these are some of the tools and the what the system allows you to accomplish using this system. So I would enjoy you to follow us on social media handle, we at xyz.uworld, or visit our website www.uworld.xyz, where you can always contact us. So we hope to see you on the next one. Bye.